that everything is working as it should. I hope so. Um, this is the fourth time I've tried to set things up here. So I'm outside in the sun, as you can see. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Um, I can't see the chat. Yeah, wonderful. Oh, I can see the chat. Wonderful. You can hear me. You can see me also as well, I hope. Ironically, I am talking to a smartphone now. This video, no, this live stream is not really going to be about my hatred for smartphones. I don't really hate them. It's just that they are problematic. But it's not going to be about that. As you may know, I just a year ago, I think, I got a smartphone. Before that, I did not have a smartphone. I had a dumb phone, you know. Um, and for 5 years or so, something like that, then I got sick, and I had to have a smartphone because of some tools there. Now I'm slowly recovering, but it's going to take time. Um, but anyway, that was the reason why I got a smartphone, and I find it useful. But what happened yesterday was that I was trying to use my smartphone to to pay a bill. Well, probably several bills because taxes and all stuff, all sorts of stuff. And the bank, which has an app, of course, um, sent me a message that now you have to scan your face, or very soon you will have to scan your face to to use the app. And I'm not okay with that. And I'll tell you why. When you scan your face, they say that it's to increase your security online, but it's not increasing your security. Um, and I'm not an expert on this, but what happens is that that scanning of your face is then made into a whole lot of code. Like, it's not an image, that can be hacked. And when they hack that, they can use it for everything. The EU, now Norway is not part of the EU. I live in Norway, but the EU and the USA and probably most of the world now, they want to streamline this and get everything into the same system. And to use the system, they want you to have to scan your face. Imagine when someone hacks your account, gets hold of your code, the code that is your face scan. They can access every aspect of your life. I was recently one of the, I don't like to use the word victims, but I was made a victim to one of the scammers, one of the many scammers online, and it was so credible. I was tricked. They tricked me, and it was only because I have a good management dealing with my YouTube channels. uh, Only because of them that I could get back in a matter of just a couple of days, and they managed to have YouTube set everything back to how it was. Um, and now I'm not logging into anything. I'm not logging into anything that I don't know from before. I'm certainly not going to scan my face. And I used to say that it's because I don't want to. It's privacy. I want to keep my privacy. But now I'm just saying, it's because of security. I don't want to give anyone that information. Imagine your face, you know? No, I'm not okay with that. And I do realize that Google and YouTube, all of that, they have my face already scanned into their AI. Of course they do. I have made hundreds and hundreds of videos, so I'm sure it's there. But I'm not going to give my bank a face scan. And I don't think you should either. It's bad enough when you try to, you know, travel to another country by airplane and they do an eye scan and all of that. No, I'm not okay with that. So that's why I'm saying that you're going to have to ditch that smartphone in the future. I don't know when. I find the smartphone that I'm talking to now quite useful, actually. And by the way, I haven't done a live stream here for a while here on this channel. Um, I hope that you're okay with that. I hope also that I'm doing the live stream on the right channel. But I was sitting here in the sun. Now there's a bit of shade, but I thought, let's do a live stream, you know? And yeah. So where was I? Yeah, the smartphone. I like the smartphone. I like to I usually listen to YouTube videos, uh, audiobooks, stuff like that, some podcasts. I like that. I don't use it for social media except for folkrealms.com, which is which is a social media platform, but it's nice. It's for folkrealms.com. It's for people interested in our, I guess you could say, pre-Christian European roots, mainly, mythology and that sort of thing. Um, but apart from that, I post to social media. I don't find it interesting. It's social media has become like people misbehaving when they're in their car. So I was driving my car. I'll tell you the story. Just out from my garage here and down to the main road, and I was turning left. Then I waited for another car that came towards me from the right, and there was this fat, stupid guy there, waving his arms, both his arms. Can you imagine? Both his arms out of the window. That's very safe. Yeah. Um, Signaling to me to hurry across do what he said basically. And he can go and screw himself um, in a dark room because I'm not going to let other people decide how I behave in traffic, you know? And he had this little daughter next to him and so on. What a sad man that was. But people are behaving like that on social media now, and especially on Facebook uh, and the other ones. Well, X that's another one. I don't really post on them in a futile hope to get people to watch my videos on YouTube, you know. I don't know if it works. It's like when you post a thumbnail on Instagram, you know, it says something, you know, and people will comment on that thumbnail. They don't go and watch the video. But anyway, this chat function here doesn't work very well. I can't really see many of the comments, they just pop up. Was that universal general intelligence? Hmm. So, you know, don't get me wrong concerning AI. I'm not against AI used in certain areas. I'm not against that. I'm against AI used to replace real people. How is Feline's paw? It's fine. It's fine. That's just it happens. These dogs, they run so fast, and it wasn't really an injury. So yeah, no, she's fine. She's right here by me. So will you be able to ditch a smartphone? For most people, the answer will be no. So they're going to have to tolerate losing their privacy. Tracy, thank you. Thank you as well. Of the treat, yeah. Likewise, thank you. Yeah, so you're going to have to choose between giving up your personal information. You're going to have to tolerate doing a face scan to access this and that and social media, everything to access the system, basically. Um, and if you're not okay with that, you can't have a smartphone, I guess, because here's what I think, and I know what people will write in the comments. You know, they're going to require you to have a smartphone, but I'm not so sure about that actually. If you're willing to live no, a more complicated life when it comes to access to the system. Um, if you're willing to accept things being more complicated, then you're probably going to be able to exist without a smartphone. um, but I don't know. But that's my guess, you know, that's my guess. It's like I recently joined a commercial gym, trying out a new commercial gym here nearby. And it's fine. It's just it's fine, but it's like, oh, you just download our app and you pay through the app. And then I said, I don't want to do that. I can pay in the normal way, you know. And it was like, oh, yes, yes, you can do that. You know, you like my shades. Thank you. Yeah. So it's going to be a bit of a nuisance not to have a smartphone, but it's a matter of choosing what kind of life you want to have. And I don't think we are there yet. I think that it's going to take a while because there is resistance. I might be wrong here. This could happen within weeks, you know. Um, we lost our privacy a long time ago. No, I have privacy. I don't know about you, but I have privacy. Um, Sorry about the noise in the background if you can hear that. Um, yeah, you know, when it comes to that attitude, you know, I see it all the time. It's a nihilist attitude, I guess you could say. And because people have a nihilist or defeatist attitude, then they just hold up their hands and they say, yeah, I'll just scan my face because they have all the information already. Anyway, that's not true. And also, it's audio is good. Well, awesome. Also, there is another aspect here. You know, don't let them have an easy fight. Don't give them that. Make whatever they're planning to do very difficult for them. This is a moral issue. Now, and also, I want to say that there are still people out there saying, I don't have anything to hide. Yeah. First of all, I think anyone who are saying that, my reply to you out there is, oh, I think you do. I think you do. I think that you have been searching on porn sites for stuff that are not really socially acceptable. I think that you have done things that you really want to hide. That's what I think. I think that the people saying, I don't have anything to hide, they really have something to hide. That's what I think. So, um, yeah, the problem with that attitude that, oh, I trust the government, I don't have anything to hide. The problem is that even if your present government is benign, just waving to the neighbor, even if your present government is relatively benign, your next government might not be. And the government in 20 years might not be. And the information never goes away, it is stored. So let's say you sympathize with a certain political group that might be seen as somewhat okay now. In the future, it might not be. It might not be seen as okay by the people in power. So, yeah, think a little bit about that. So get ready to ditch that smartphone. And I think it's a big shame because it is a very nice tool. It's as I said, I'm using a smartphone now, and today I have been listening to videos. I've discovered two new channels. I can't remember the names now. It's uh, you know, and I wouldn't have discovered those if I didn't have a smartphone because I like to be outside. I don't want to sit. I mean, in this weather now, you can maybe see the sun on my face, possibly. I don't want to be inside the house. I want to be out there on the porch or whatever you call it, looking at the trees, feeling the sun on my face. And while it is nice to do that in silence, it's also nice to sit here and listen to a podcast. Um, so yeah, um, yeah, get a VPN. Get a VPN. There is I'm an affiliate to NordVPN, so there's a link to there's a I think it's a good offer they have. It's a link in the video description if you don't have a VPN. NordVPN, they say that's a good one. There are other good ones out there as well, but if you want to help out this channel, you can use that link. Um, I get a small cut of the sale. What's coming now is a lockdown. Yeah, lockdown. I don't know when, but it's coming. And I think that, yeah, sorry if I seem a little bit nonchalant about that, but in my head, I've been thinking about this a lot. Uh, and I think that a new lockdown is coming because they need a new lockdown to implement and to tie together the pieces of the system. So face scan, biometric scan, um, being connected to everything and across borders. They need something like that they need a crisis to just get it done. So I think that we are going to get a lockdown. It won't be looking like the other lockdown that we had, because I don't think people are ready to tolerate that again. But there will be some kind of lockdown, and might be fuel rationing so that you can't really get any gas for your car. Uh, but we might also have a pandemic uh, sort of lockdown. And this time, if that happens, it's going to be much worse. Um, what's it called? Something and then treaty, the pandemic treaty. I can't remember the name, but most countries have signed up to that now. Maybe not the USA because of the present government. There is something good about the present government in the USA. But here in Europe, we are screwed, because even though Norway is not part of the EU, the Norwegian government, they have betrayed the people and signed up to that pandemic treaty or whatever it's called. So actually, as far as I understand, if you refuse to get injected, they can just put you away in a dark hole and shut the door and lock the door and forget about you. you know. So you need to keep your what's it called, head on a swivel. You need to be aware of what's developing, so that you will be prepared, so that you're not there when they come for you. And I know this sounds very, very dystopian. I know, I know, which is incredible. If you guys, oh, thank you so much, donation. That's very kind of you. That's so kind of you. Um, yeah, so be ready. I mean, what do I mean by that? Be ready to just remove yourself from the situation. That's going to be difficult because we are so dependent on the system. But again, freedom is all about not being dependent on the system. And I do think that we will have a new lockdown. Will it be next year? Will it be in 5 years? I don't know. Will it be next month? I don't know. But it seems to me that that's what they need to implement all of the tools that need to be implemented in this new world order. um, Learn to hunt drones. Yeah. Imagine, or I would say, I never would have imagined that a possible future for me and you would be in my old age. My life is being a nomad out in the woods with a bow, shooting down drones that come to, to hunt me. Uh, that seems a bit far fetched, I know, but it, uh, it's. I don't think anyone out there, if they're being honest with themselves, think that the future looks bright for people who value their freedoms. And I can tell you that there is no way that they're getting me to get that jab. I didn't get it during the pandemic or the COVID crisis. It wasn't really a pandemic, but I didn't get it then. I'm not going to get any jab in the future either. Well, unless I choose to, you know, if there's like the Marburg virus spreading like wildfire and they have a vaccine for that, I might be tempted. But hopefully that will never happen. Um, yeah. Yes. I can't stay in Norway. Yeah. So, yeah, in my old age, I can't grow old in Norway. No, that's I wouldn't say it's impossible, but okay, let's talk about that a little bit. um, in Norway, you're okay if you have medium income and you're employed somewhere. If you have a small business like I do, you are going to be taxed to death. It is because of taxes that I can no longer save up money for my retirement. And then people say, but the state will give you a pension when you retire at 67. Yeah, they will. It's for me, who was quite poor most of my life, um, it it's right above the level of what we call poverty in Norway. Right above, or right at the limit, actually. So I'm supposed to, after having worked so hard my whole life, I what I get back is living at the edge of poverty in my old age. That's Norway for you. Um, so yeah, I don't think it's okay to pay as much taxes as we do when that's the deal that you are being dealt. And I can't move my business out of Norway because of the exit tax. That's dangerously close to serfdom, serfdom, like in the medieval ages, where they owned the peasants. So yeah, yeah. So it's not okay, and it's something that makes me seriously depressed when I think about it. Um, you will own nothing. Yes. And let's skip the last part, and you will be happy, because we won't be happy when we own nothing. Texas checking in. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I have found that if you want to be free, there's only one way forward. You have to check out the system as much as possible. And you have to grow your own food. You have to have a community uh, that works together, because I don't think you can do it on your own. You have to have like extended families and friends coming together, sharing knowledge, skills, growing their own food, and bartering. Never thought I would say that, but yeah, bartering. And I've been thinking about that quite a lot lately, and I was thinking, okay, we can't barter stuff. It would be very difficult. But what is it that I'm buying? What am I buying? I'm not buying much at all. I buy food that can be grown, and you can barter food. I imagine maybe my skills as a writer, a storyteller, a video producer could be traded in for food in such a community. Um, I will still need to buy cameras and software and computer stuff, all of that, because of my work. But apart from that, I'm not really buying anything. When was the last time I bought any clothing? This shirt here is at least 10 years old, and you can see it here. I like it. Mr. Sorpos, hi there. You got paid in wild game mates. You made a leather sheath for an axe. Awesome. Um, so what, when you don't buy much, and I think actually that's the situation for most people. They don't buy much, actually. They don't. They accept food. Then why don't we move to a system with bartering? Dog food. Yeah, dog food can be bartered. I mean, the best food for dogs is meat. So it can be done. It can be done. This house behind me here, I did not put that paneling on. I didn't paint it. Um, but a community can come together and do stuff like that, and this cost a fortune, because they're quite greedy. Those people, not the workers, but the companies, they're usually quite greedy. You know. So I honestly think that if people can come together in a community like that, that's your path towards freedom and cutting the ties to the system. Now, here in Norway, I don't know. It's going to be very difficult, because people here, they are docile and they are sleepwalking through life. Um, if you say something like that, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Norwegians are so fucking. It's like they can't think for themselves. They must be provoked for them to start thinking for themselves. Um, you know, it's a shame. It's a big shame, especially when you think about our Viking age past. But that's how it is. That's just how it is. So yeah, I don't see getting together in a community like that happening here anytime soon. I don't see that happening. But that is the only way forward if you want to live in freedom, the way I see it. I can't think of any other way. So, um, yeah, people will, Divina, good to see you, by the way. People will start using digital ham radio. Um, you could have another kind of lockdown as well, actually. You could have a climate lockdown, and other people have talked about that in the past. That's Feline. She has assigned herself to position of neighborhood police. So yeah. Let's see here. Good dog. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. Um, Now there's actually a tiny spider here on the camera. Yeah. Um, yeah, they do that, and then another dog, maybe far away sometimes, start barking back, and then another one, and then that's what they do. Um, do you have food rationing? How do I see the chat? Oh, there it is. Uh, Energy lockdown already here. Then the food rationing. Mark my words. Line up. Use digital for food rationing. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong about the timing of this, but it's very clear to me that we are, if you have an axis like, like that, and freedom is up here and time is here, we are moving down when it comes to freedom as time goes by. Seems very, very obvious to me. Um, and people, there will be some nihilist or defeatist people writing, your freedom is an illusion and all of that. Yeah, really? Try spending a couple of days in prison and you won't say the same after that. Now, I've never been in prison, but it's just to illustrate my point here. I imagine that people who are locked up like that, they would not say that your freedom is an illusion. So let's see here. Yeah. Any science fiction readers here? No, hold on. Oops. Divina, I made you moderator on the channel by accident. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? Um, you don't have to you don't have to be a moderator or do anything about it if you don't want to. You're okay with that? Okay, thank you. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say here is, I have a dream. I have a dream. Uh, I may not have the same um, auditory skills as um, was it? It was Martin Luther King that said that. I have a dream. Hopefully, hopefully I remember correctly. I don't have the same auditory skills as he had, but I do have a dream that we will get back to nature and live a more natural life. Today, I started my day on my e-bike. Ironically, e-bike. But it could have been a normal bike, up into the woods. Then I made a video. I recorded a video. I have to edit it, you know. Um, and that was so wonderful. I had a wonderful time up there in the woods. Um, After that, I've just been, what have I been doing? Oh, yeah, I've been filling up the car with gas, and I brought an extra big can that I also filled up with gas because I have several now, actually. I shouldn't say that, but in case we have gas rationing, petrol rationing, they have been talking about that we might have petrol rationing. It's getting really warm here in the sun. So that's what I did, and I've just been sitting here, and it feels wonderful. It feels great. I also think that we work too much. By the way, let's see here. Um, let's see. I can hardly see the screen now. I have to move this. Hmm. Let's see here. Let's see if I can create some shade. You'll have to be patient. That didn't help at all. Like that. No. Okay. But anyway, that's enough of me ranting, I guess. I'll just keep repeating myself here if I keep going. Um, I I would like to ask you to go to my channel, Bjorn Outdoors, and watch the video there that I uploaded yesterday. There's a link to my channel, Bjorn Outdoors, in the video description. Um, I saw a comment on that video. It's just an overnighter in the woods video. And I saw a comment, this thumbnail is AI, it said. And I was so provoked because it's not, it's not AI. But maybe I shouldn't be provoked because people are used to seeing AI now. But it's not AI. None of my thumbnails or videos are AI, of course. But anyway, now I will try to, let's see here, switch off this thing. Um, how do I do that? Maybe up here. Okay. Bye bye.